Oh, my bad. I actually was doing something that time. Hey, everybody. Kevin here for you for another. That is bright. That is really bright. Kevin here for you for another cool Lyoko episode review. I'm going to try to do these once a week, just like I do my hero one. So, let's get into it. This is going to be episode 6. I forget the name, actually. This episode is called Cruel Dilemma. So, let's get into it. The episode starts off like any normal episode. Well, actually starts off with the opening. Actually, most of the time it don't. Well, most of the time it do, but sometimes it don't. It's whatever. Anyway, the episode starts off with the principal, Mr. Dubois. I think that's his name. If not, then I forget the principal name. He's just telling everybody about how they got these new bulldozers to make these new. He said equipment, but he also said like a new like gym ground for them, and they got the money from the board of education. Just random school stuff. He does not want to be there. He's like, this is so lame. He just keeps talking. Or it's like, well, you didn't have to be here. You could have just went with Jeremy. What is he doing anyway? And, the classic Alita stuff. He's talking to his little girl. I just love it because Yumi, I think I can get it. She does like a little smirk and she looks upwards. That's so nice. Let me see. I think I can get it for y'all. I gotta time this perfectly because it happened like a split second. It's like one. You don't see the smile. You see it like look up. You see it like look up real quickly. Like talking to our leader. Okay. We go back and he's talking to our leader, just about how he's not done with the materialization program. I said it right this time. But he's closer than he's ever been. Sorry, I got the TV in the frame. He's closer than he's ever been to getting this right. And our leader's like, "Oh, this is crazy! I can't believe I can actually be where you guys are. We can touch, we can dance, we can even kiss." And then Jerry's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess we could." Anyway, he starts up the materialization program that he has. Like he's like testing it, and it starts to work, but then it fails, and he gets a bit aggravated, and he just leaves. He's like, "I'm sorry, I leader for yelling. I'm just gonna stretch my legs." And the way every time he activates it, it's so cool looking. Like let me show you real quick. I don't know why. I just think it looks really cool to me. This always happens. This is how it looks like. It always looks like this, and then like part of it will like disappear. Then it starts to fill in, but then when it stops working, obviously it starts to like completely disappear, and you just see the model. And he's like, "Oh shoot, it doesn't work. I'm so mad at myself." And then he just goes out and searches like every time the materialization program starts to work. I mean, it starts to like every time he tested, test, tested. Yeah, every time he tested, that's what pops up. I'm like, "Oh, that looks so cool!" Like the animation up there. I just love how it looks. Anyway, we cut to Jeremy, not Jeremy, we cut to Odd coming into the room and he's seeing the materialization program. And like, it's funny because he walks in, he's like, what is this? Oh, it's the materialization. Oh, candy. And he picks up Jeremy's candy and starts to eat it. And then Jeremy walks in and that startles him. And he drops the candy. And we see like some candy fall on the keyboard and presses a bunch of keys. Jeremy's spazzing out odd that, his keyboard is real sensitive. He shouldn't have candy around here. I told you not to touch my stuff. He's like, calm down, Einstein. And Jeremy's like, oh my goodness, there's no way. And he starts to type on his keyboard. And then he was like, I don't know what the candy did. I don't know what thing it did, but it made the materialization program work. It works now. But he only gets one shot because he had no idea what keys were pressed while the candy was falling. It was a funny moment where he was calling Odd a creep, and he was like, and then when he found out the materialization program worked, he said, "You're a genius." I said, "Make up your mind, am I a creep or a genius?" He said, "You're a creepy genius." But let's tell everybody. I'm gonna tell Aelita. So to get the rest of the crew inside of his room, obviously there's Yumi, Oric, Jeremy, and Aelita. Jeremy, he's not spazzing, but he's like, it's not. He's like, why? Like Yumi saying, no, we can't like bring her here yet. Not right now, right now. He's like, why not? I got all the statistics out. The program works. What if there's a bug in it? What if something happened? We need to do this now. Odd, Yumi, and Oric, they're being more practical here. They're like, look, she doesn't have a birth certificate. She doesn't have nowhere to live. She's not enrolled in any school. She's not enrolled in our school. She's just like you're bringing someone from a virtual world into here, like you don't have any setup for her, and they're like, yeah, see, and then Alita talking about, I came from a virtual world. You go into the nut house, so they have to make preparations for this. Okay, Yumi says he can put her up at her house. Her folks wouldn't mind. Oric says, in the meantime, you can hack into the city hall servers and make a fake identity for her, and then you can hack into the school and then enroll her to the school, and then boom, then you can bring our leader here because we got her set up in the human world. That makes sense. But at the same time, I'm like, Jeremy was just doubting himself to bring a virtual being to the physical world. That makes sense. Like that's a tough order to make. At the same time, I'm like, Oric, he just says it so nonchalantly. Like, yeah, just go hack into the city hall servers and make like a fake birth certificate and a fake identity for her. I'm like, that's the city hall. They should have some good security on their web on their servers, right? And he like just says it so nonchalantly, like, yeah, just go hack into the servers and you can make a fake identity for Alita. I guess that could work. I mean, yeah, of course it's gonna work, but who knows? And then she can stay at Yumi's house. I mean, she could stay at the school because they have dorms for the girls there. But it's whatever. She can stay at Yumi's house. And Alita's like, Jeremy, it's okay. Like they're making a lot of sense. I can wait one more day. Jeremy's like, okay, I guess we can get started with all this tomorrow. Let's just have a good night's sleep. And then crazy, these always have. It's the title cards. I know I brought this up before, but these title cards, man, it ain't nothing wrong with them. It's just they show up like every minute or every 2 minutes. Like legit, the first one showed up right after the opening, right after that beginning scene that lasted like 2 minutes. Title card. I don't know how things happen in Canada, but it's crazy. It cuts to nighttime and Jeremy wakes up and he's like, Leah, do you sleep, man? She's like, of course I'm not sleeping. I'm a virtual being. I cannot sleep at all. I'm just so excited for you guys to get here. And then yeah, it's a nice little sweet moment where Jeremy is starting to explain all the things you can do on Earth. Like you can sense stuff, you can touch stuff, and you get to feel stuff. And he was like, he just like that. But then it cuts to I don't know why, but it cuts to Jim sleeping for like 12 seconds. Then it cuts to the two bulldozers outside to make like the new not gym area, but the new like outground area. Xana takes over them, and they start to cause a ruckus. And then it cuts back to this is a nice little cut. They did that smartly. Jeremy goes, well, in the human world, you have six senses. You only have two, seeing and hearing. And I later like, wait, speaking of hearing, Xana. And Jeremy just keeps talking. Xana, we gotta go. Jeremy's like, okay, I'll meet you at the factory. Just go close to well, he says stay in a deactivated tower and I'll meet you in the factory. Next time we see Alita later on, like in a minute or so, she's running around in the forest area and Jeremy has no problem with that. Jeremy will always have a problem with that. He just told you to stay where you are. But I guess you should just go ahead and try to deactivate the tower because Xana could be doing something really bad. So Jeremy goes into Odd and Orange room to wakes him up. Odd wakes up. Odd wakes up like that. It takes a minute for Odd to wake up. You have to like shake him because he has earplugs in because Odd is snoring. I don't know why he didn't just say that because Odd is like, "Hey, you always sleep with those things in?" And Eric was like, "Yeah, one day I'll tell you why." I'm like, it's obvious, just snoring. Like, just say that. I don't know why he just says that. Anyway, I don't know why, but Jeremy starts to yell like crazy, and they're not telling him to shut up. It's like obviously you understand what's going on. Xana's attacking, but when Art takes his earbuds out, he's like Jeremy starts to yell like crazy, like Xana, we gotta go, come on, come on. I'm like, you're still in the dorm. You can wake up anybody right now. You need to lower your voice. You need to lower your voice right now. Please lower your voice. I don't know why you're screaming like crazy. All the boys go outside and they see it's the bulldozers. So they say, okay, Jeremy, you go to the factory and call Yumi, me and Oliver to stop these things. They run up to the bulldozers and not Jeremy, Or gets in the first one. Uh, Odd gets in the second one. I forgot the name for a second. They get inside of it. They're trying to do everything they can. They're like, pulling the wheel. I mean, twisting the wheel, pulling all these levers. Nothing's really working. Jeremy calls Yumi and it's funny because oh man, that was so funny because she's like, do you know what time it is? Jeremy, what? bulldozers. What? And then the nigga's cuts. He just wakes up and starts yelling. And starts yelling. On he jumps in the orange car. Well, he jumps in the orange bulldozer. He was like, I'm trying everything, but I can't do anything. Ori goes, okay, you go ahead to the factory. I'm gonna try to see what I can do here. Try to see what Xander wants to do with these things. You go ahead. Ori's like, okay. I mean, Odd is like, okay, you stay safe, Ori, though. Ori gives him the old thumbs up. Gives him the good old thumbs up. He's like, Odd is like, okay, Ori, you stay safe, though. He runs over to the factory. We get one little scene of Alita running in the forest, like I just said, after Jeremy just told her to stay in the deactivated tower, but she's going ahead and running through the forest section. I mean, the forest sector, but it's whatever. I always loved how, even as a kid, I thought it was so cool seeing the pulsations. Let me see if I can get a good shot of it. Yeah, it's like in every sector, there's always these random wires. It's always those random wires, like just randomly just uprooting through the sector wherever you at. And you see when Xana's acting amok, you always see like the red pulsations going through it, and you also see them on the ground too. Like when you drop a stone in the water, the circles, you see that on the ground and it's red. I really thought that was cool. I used to like hate the mountain in the forest sector because it's not like a forest. Like it is, but at the same time, there's like giant like drops. It's just like a narrow path of like fake grass and trees, but on both sides of you, you can fall like super deep. I used to love the desert section because it's like giant pieces of land you could run on, and it's not just like one little like hallway section. It's like giant pieces of land. That's what it should have been for the forest section too, because it's a forest and the mountain section, I guess you could keep it like that. I guess that could work. But anyway, I would hate to fight in the forest section or in like the mountain section because like besides like the narrow hallway, it's like boom, drop, 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 drop. I would hate fighting and running around in the forest and tree section. Odd gets there and it's a funny scene. I can't play the audio. I mean, I could. I don't know. I really just don't want to get copyrighted. It was just funny because Odd he meets up with Jeremy. He's talking on the computer. He goes, "Alita, it's okay. Odd and Oric is gonna go in there and help you." And then Odd goes, "Oric, he's on the bulldozers trying to figure out what Xena wants to do." It was just the way he said it because he was like, "Odd and Oric gonna come help you." Oric, Oric ain't helping you. He's out there trying to figure out what's going on. He calls Oric, and obviously Oric finds out what's going on. Xana wants to mess up the factory because they're on the bridge. The bulldozers are on the bridge to the factory, and then they're like, "Oh, that makes sense because they mess up the equipment. We can't talk to our leader, and if they mess up the scanners, we can't go to Lyoko. So that means Xana wins AOKO. But obviously, he can't mess it up too bad because Xana's still in the servers that's in the factory, so he can't fully demolish it, but he's still pretty there. So when Og gets to Lyoko after he gets virtualized, a little funny scene where he's like does a backflip and he goes he's like, "Where you at? Where the monster's at?" And then he's pointing his gun at Alita. And Alita's like, "Hey, you seem kind of stressed. Every time I come here, I don't know what I'm gonna find. I have no idea what I'm gonna find." We cut back to Oric in a pretty horrific scene to where we see Oric, he's inside the bulldozer, and the bulldozer's going like full speed to like ram some metal beam. And Oric's like, "Oh shoot, I gotta get out." When he goes to open the door, Xena locks the door, and then the bulldozer hits the metal beam. It doesn't take it down, but it dents it. But Oric has no seatbelt on, and he's inside the bulldozer, and he hits it, and the glass breaks, and you see Oric like fumbling around inside of the bulldozer, like like he really hurt himself. I think I can take a good. I think I can pause it real good so you guys can see it. But I mean, that was real horrific, man. Like I was shook. Nah, I can't. He's moving around too much, but it's whatever. Obviously, Jeremy's hearing all the commotion upstairs, and he tell Yumi to hurry up. We need to go. And then I thought the name were cockroaches, but no, they're called roadsters. Yeah, that's what they call. They're called roadsters. A little little gremlin things that suit. I thought they were called cockroaches, but no, they're called roadsters. Okay, so that's the actual name. But they're just called cockroaches. Anyway, and there's five of them, and I didn't know this, but Alita says because like two sew up in front of them, and they look like, huh? They always sews up and grows to five, and then like the rest of them come up. The three of them more come up, and then Oz starts to fight them. Obviously, it's really cool because Oz he does like two flips, and he does another back flip, boom, and he takes out one. Then he does like another few flips, and then he takes out another one. But he does get hit a few times. He does get hit a couple times with the lasers, and Alita actually like. And this every time Alita gets hit, I'm like, oh no, like this is bad. Like this is really bad. But Alita, she only gets hit once in the leg. But Odd, he's getting most of the hits on him. Obviously. That's really just what happens. Odd, I mean, Jeremy starts to yell at Odd to keep Alita safe. Odd is like, do you want to switch places? Like, I'm trying my best here. Like, come on now. Yumi, she gets Auric out of the bulldozer happily. Then it's weird to see like it keeps cutting back and forth with Odd shooting some roadsters. Then it cuts back to Yumi trying to help or trying to get out of the bulldozer. Anyway, I mean the Odd and Alita stuff is just him shooting him and Yumi yelling at him. There's one scene made no sense. So Yumi gets Oric out of the bulldozer. She's like, "Oh, you gotta wake up. You okay? You gotta wake up." And the bulldozer is coming right at them. So it goes from Yumi going, "Oric, wake up, come on, Oric, you gotta wake up, come on." And then it just cuts to Yumi. I mean, it just cut like yeah. It doesn't even cut back to on them. It just cuts like you just see a cut, and then Oric just he's standing up and he's running with Yumi like running like he just woke up. I'm like, okay, we didn't see him wake up, but that's whatever. He's running and running and running. And then it looks like the bulldozer ran over Yumi and Oric, but then it shows that there was a hole in the floor and they fell through the hole. And then Oric just passed out again on the floor. He just passed out. Yumi helps him over to where Yumi is. Yumi helps him get down. And then you hear Odd yelling on the speaker. Then Yumi's like, okay, I'm going to go help Oric. I mean, not Oric. I'm going to go help Odd and Lyoko. And then she gets there. Well, we don't see her yet. And it gets down to just three roasters left. And Odd goes, okay, you go take care of the roast. I mean, you go take care of the tower. I'll get the roasters. Only got three arrows, three roasters left. I can't miss. And as soon as he says that, he turns around, boom, and he just domes one. Perfect shot. I'm like that. Then he takes out another one by his tail goes out, and it like scratches the roaster's face, and the roaster's like, huh? How you doing? Boom, takes out the other one. Just like that. My boy. But then he gets a vision. And then like this is cool. Like he could legit see the future. I don't know how they never explained this power. They took this power away in like season. I think after season. I think after season one, he actually loses his power. They never explain where to go. He just never gets any visions anymore after like season one. I think it's after season one because I know in the later season he doesn't have this anymore. I don't know why. He doesn't have that, and he doesn't have his shield. He didn't use it in this episode, but he used to be like shield. He could like block like a few laser attacks, and then it would break. But I don't know why he doesn't have that anymore either. Anyway, he sees a vision of Yumi falling into the digital sea, and he gets shook. And he goes, Yumi, and he looks down, and then there's a roaster there. He's like, oh, shoot. And he shoots and kills him. And then Yumi, he's running around. I mean, let's see. Yumi, she's running around, and she sees all dies, and then she runs up, and she kills the... What the... Oh, there it is. My bad. My bad, yo. I could have sworn I always keep it on the couch with me so I can just grab it. But I must have moved it for some reason. But she gets her trusty old fan. Ah, you like that. Get the fan for Yumi. Gets a trusty old fan, throws it and kills the roadster that killed Odd. Nice. You stay there. My goodness. Odd, he gets back into the regular world and he's talking to Jeremy. And he's like, Jeremy, the real problem isn't Alita. I had a vision that Yumi falls into the digital sea. And they're like, huh. And Yumi like, yeah, I heard that, but I still got to go help Alita. So as he runs off and go, and Oric's like, you know what? I'll go help her to make sure that doesn't happen. Oric, you are no safe to go. Or he's like, Odd, just help me. Odd helps him up. He goes, we don't see it, but obviously he goes into the scanner and he runs away. And as soon as Jeremy, nah, not soon. As soon as Jeremy, as soon as the leader gets close to the tower, he says, "Give me a visual," which is cool because Jeremy, all he really sees is triangles and like squares. But when he says to give me a visual, it's like green fuzz, but he still gets to see what's going on in Lyoko. I don't know how. Like it doesn't saw a leader doing something and then saw the visual, but he gets to see what's going on. Anyway, he sees like it's like this. It's like a hole, a corridor. It's like you're standing here, then it's a ring like this, and in the middle of the ring is like a hole. That's where Odyssey's that's where Odyssey Yumi falls, and then you see another straight pathway, and that's the tower. But then as soon as Alita gets there, it's a mega tank. It's a mega tank. She dodges it for a good while. Like she runs around a tree, it shoots his beam, then has to charge up again, and she's running and running and running, hides behind another tree. But then when she goes for the straight shot right for the tower, it shoots Aaron and it's gonna hit Alita. And then you see Yumi, she runs up to it and bumps it into the hole, and she falls in the hole too because she bumps it so hard. But then it does a wide shot of them both falling, and then you see Alita in the distance running, and she's like running like this. She's not even moving. It's like she's running on ice. Her arms not doing that, but she's running like that. I'm like, okay, I don't know where the budget went, or I guess the animators were like, you know what, this is like the last few minutes of the show. Bump it. I'm gonna just do some classic running animation. Like they did not care. Yumi, Alita goes in the tower. Yumi doesn't fall completely. Like she's like holding onto the egg, and she's like, I'm falling, I'm falling. And then you see Oric. He is zooming. He's using his super speed. Yumi, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. Right as he gets there, shoo, she falls. She becomes fully digitalized. And that's it. They do, Code Lyoko, Back to the Past. I don't know why this happens. Like this isn't like if you in episode 6 and a few episodes after this, every time Jeremy goes, when he usually says, back in time or back to the past, all the music, all the sound effects, even him is silent. There's no sound or nothing. I don't know why. Like it's not your TV. There's nothing wrong with what you're watching. The actual episode that airs on TV, on your computer, on your phone, on this, it always happens. I guess they forgot to put in the sound effects for that one part. It's just silence. They legit forgot to put in the sound effects for that part. That is wild. Even though they go back in the past, Yumi is fully digitalized, so she's not here anymore. Obviously, everybody's sad and they're beating themselves up. Oh, really? Just Oracle? If I was just faster, I was, just beat himself up. What are we gonna do? Alita's like, we all know what we gotta do. The materialization program. Jeremy like that would work, but we only get one shot of it because I don't know what I did. Alita's like, go ahead and use it. She's already a part of your world. I can wait a bit longer. Don't worry, I know you can fix it. I mean, you could do it again. He does it to bring Yumi back. She's a bit woozy, but she's back. And then Jeremy's like, man, I feel sad and happy. Alita's like, it's okay. You get it working to get it someday. And then she turns off or she just goes away. Then you see Jeremy and everybody else in the sewers going back to the school. Jeremy's like by himself, just riding on the scooter, and everybody else comes up and pats him on the back. And Alita, not Alita, Jeremy, Yumi is like, hey, eat a piece of candy. You can't heal anything, even a broken heart, I guess. And Ollie goes, here, take it. And Jeremy goes, wait a second, that's my candy. What are you doing with it? Hey, you're eating it, so it's no problem. So it's no problem. He flicks it up in the air and he eats it. They ride off a bit more, and then it's the music, man. I love the music. I'm not doing it right, but that music starts to play. The camera pans out to the sky. It's a nice sunny day. Then the episode ends. The episode ends just right there. Nice little episode. Really good. It was a really good episode. Nothing too complicated. I mean, Xana just getting bulldozers to mess up mess up their equipment so they can't talk to Alita or they can't go to Lyoko. That makes sense. So nothing too complicated, but nothing too crazy either. So yeah. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all later. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being wonderful and beautiful and handsome human beings. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. I'm gonna do everything. Yeah.